First, the Acting Director General of Treasury, Ismail Momoniat, has called on private sector companies to stop doing business with Bain. It comes after the global consultancy based in Boston was barred from tendering for state contracts for 3 years in the UK, based on findings against Bain and Company here in South Africa. Two commissions, the Nugent Commission of Inquiry into SARS and the Zondo Commission, found that Bain colluded with former President Jacob Zuma and former SARS Commissioner Tom Moyane to attempt to capture SARS. The Zondo Commission said that Bain acted unlawfully and colluded in the clearest example of state capture. Now, in its response to what happened in the UK, Bain again denying illegal conduct, it's reiterated only that mistakes were made in its work for SARS. To discuss, we're joined by the National Treasury Acting Director General, Ismail Momoniat. Thank you, Mr. Momoniat, for being with us. You're calling on private companies to do this. Why shouldn't the state, government departments and SOEs lead by example, firstly?
No, absolutely we should. And let me say that no government department from our records, from what we can see, has made any payment or seems to Bain since the end of 2017. So that is the case with national and provincial departments. We're not sure about state-owned entities, but the few that we've been in contact with, we know they're not doing business with Bain, and we're unable to check with municipalities at this stage. So that's the current situation. So our view is that, no state, organ of state, nor private business in South Africa or elsewhere should do business with Bain, given the role they've played in destroying a world-class institution like SARS, which for me is akin to treason, what they committed, and certainly what they say holds there's no basis for them to say what they did. They did not fully disclose their role to the Nugent Commission. They've allowed the officials who were involved, some of them are still apparently employed by them. And frankly, we are also talking to authorities overseas to prosecute them in terms of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act in the US. And they should bear criminal liability, not just criminal liability, but I think paying back the over 300 million that they did is nothing compared to the damage they've wreaked on South Africa.
Yeah, you even said that they were guilty of treason. Mr. Momoniat, just very quickly, thank you for confirming that government departments are not currently doing business with Bain. But are you saying we cannot formalise a ban like the UK did? And why not? I understand that the UK Minister, Rees-Mogg, received legal advice. There is a law in the UK that allows the state to bar companies because of questionable integrity. He kept on saying their integrity has been questioned. Do we not have a tool like that?
So, look, I'm not a lawyer, and let me say we've been working on this for quite a while, and it doesn't appear we have a tool until it appears in court. We have had SARS laying criminal charges in 2019, but again, we've not heard what the progress that's been made in that respect. And I think this is just part of the the impact of state capture, that our institutions are very slow or very weak when it comes to dealing with financial crimes. And it's not just Bain, it's the Guptas, it's Steinhoff, it's Tongard, you name them, but it seems to take years for our authorities to bring anyone to court. So that's a general frustration we have, that our processes are too slow. And it's something, certainly as Acting Director General, I'm looking at. And if you look at what, FATF's poor assessment of South Africa, this was precisely about these instances where our system is just too slow or doesn't respond at all when there are serious financial crimes, and why we face going onto a grey list from FATF. So we actually have to, for our own sake, and to avoid grey listing, to ensure that our authorities can actually act speedily in these matters.
Yeah, because what you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, is that you have to wait for a prosecution. That could take years and years and years when the UK could act preemptively. The Auditor General did bar KPMG from doing some government auditing work in 2018. So that seemed like something. But you're saying only prosecutions. I mean, Athol Williams, the whistleblower, is saying that's embarrassing for our government. What's your response to that?
Well, it is embarrassing, but let me say, even Athol Williams ran to support Bain in 2019. And so I'm very skeptical about his role. I'm glad he's come to the party finally. But there have been people who have gone to support Bain and not taken the stance that he's taken. I'm saying that, yes, the state capture has put us in a difficult situation, and determined as some of us are to get some action. And you see, the action on auditors was different because there the AG chooses the auditors for audits. Bain does consultancy. And at the moment, whilst nobody is using it, I agree, we should be having a much firmer position to get them banned. And I've said, I think people need to be jailed. And unfortunately, we cannot interfere when there are criminal cases because there's due process. Our laws are different from the laws in the UK. And hence, I'm not a lawyer, but those things have to be taken into account.
When I was looking at this, Mr. Momoniat, it made me think about rogue suppliers. The former Finance Minister, Pravin Gordhan, at one stage was talking about a central database where if suppliers didn't tender correctly or were found to be acting illegally in any way or not delivering on their promises, they could be blacklisted, so they couldn't do business with other state departments. It seems like it'll be difficult to get that in play. I mean, what's the progress there if we can't blacklist a consultancy like Bain that has been implicated in 2 commissions? How do we punish suppliers generally who don't deliver?
Yes, I think there's 2 issues. Firstly, we need to toughen our laws because our laws are too weak, and that's what we need to do. And secondly, we need to get everyone on a similar system. So we do have a central database for provincial and local government departments, but our state-owned entities have their own, municipalities have their own. So, but those are part of the reforms we want to do in the future. They're not going to help us in the current situation. But, let me just make the point. We are totally determined to implement both the Zondo and Nugent Commission proposals. We have been taking steps. Yes, I feel frustrated that we've not able to have progress as much as we should have, and that the system needs to work faster, and it needs to be much more stringent against companies like Bain.
All right, thank you. We appreciate your time tonight. That's National Treasury Acting Director General Ismail Momoniat.